So basically with episode hold on, let's see here, episode 3. Okay, I think yeah, this is episode 3. Okay, so anyways, I'm kind of a little confused about that. I'm so sorry about that. Maybe I did my live reaction. I said episode 3. If I did say episode 3, I probably did. I hope I didn't say episode 2, because if I did, then I probably have to miscorrect myself based on that. So I do apologize for that. I have to look at my video and probably just see if I can do something about that or something like that. Because I mean, I don't like doing rewatching the episode over again. If I have to. So yeah. But anyways, with this episode, basically episode 3 of In Search of the Lost Future, I want to say here basically is that maybe that the Film Society Club is not really basically showing ghosts and stuff like that. I really don't think that they're not. I don't think so. I personally want to say here is basically that because even though the ghost girl keeps on showing up basically into the school. But the question is, why does she keep showing up basically into the school? But there's also something that I also want to talk about also well too, because could this girl come from another? Could this girl come from the future, or maybe she could come from the past, or maybe that she's trying to stop something from preventing something basically bad to really can happen. But the question is, what is she really is trying to do? And what is her mission? What is she really actually trying to do? But even though it's so funny to me that she remembers the MC, but how does she remember the MC? But the question is, does she remember some of the rest of the students? I mean, nobody really doesn't know, because we don't know what this girl is really actually is doing, because we don't know what she's really is basically doing. It could mean basically possibility of different things that we really do not know about, especially with episode 2. How come in the world when she found her hat and then she absolutely touched the box and then like bam, she starts to remember how that happened? I mean, it just doesn't make no sense. How maybe the box is probably connected to her somehow, or maybe that box was basically connected to her to have her memory stored in it, or maybe that she could be something else. Maybe she could be an alien. Maybe that she could be. Nobody doesn't know. So I mean that's kind of left room on the table right there, and just to see it, just basically just to see. It's kind of like you're going to a restaurant. You're going to a restaurant and you're trying to choose which food that you really definitely want. And so when your mind tells you like, hey, I want that, because if you were to try something new, you may never know if it tastes good or not. If you really don't know. I think the point what I'm trying to say here is basically that it's kind of like if you're going to a tree and you're trying to pick and you're going to a tree and you really need something to eat and you don't know what apple to pick up the tree. But you have to remember. But if you pick the bad apple from the tree, then something could happen. But if you pick the good apple from the tree, something good will happen. So what does that mean? That means it could be many possible different things. Because if you eat a bad apple, you will get sick. That means you probably start to barf and stuff like that. And like if you don't get no medication and stuff like that, it could get worse. Because food poisoning is not a good thing. It's a bad thing for something like that basically to happen. But if you were to pick the apple that is good, hey, I mean, you will probably, who knows? I mean, nobody really doesn't know. Because like every fruit on the tree, it's probably like a 50-50. You're going to have 50% of the apples are going to be good, then you're going to have 50% of the apples are going to be bad. It's kind of like gaining knowledge and stuff like that. So if you were to eat the apple of the good apple, hey, you will gain knowledge. But if you eat the bad apple off of the tree, then you probably won't even gain any knowledge whatsoever at all. It's kind of like going for the reference from the Bible, like what Adam and Eve did and stuff like that, and just based on what they did. God told them not to go near that tree and not to take those apples from that tree. And guess what? Guess what happened? That's what they did. So I think the point what I'm trying to say here is basically that watching these mysterious animes can lead basically in different directions where that it really can go and basically where it basically can't go. One person want to say here is that I don't mind watching visual novel animes. I don't mind watching them, but the point is with the visual novel games is basically that sometimes they're pretty accurate about what they do. Sometimes that can be a good thing. But when the characters feel like it's left out from the series of the visual novel, that's not a good thing for whatsoever at all. Because there is very importance basically into a character basically into the anime. What a person want to say here is basically that it's not just only because of anime, but other different series basically out there when you basically like the soap opera shows, they're just non-stop. They're endless, they're non-stop. They never stop for whatsoever at all. They keep going forever. You know, there's no end of them. And basically, when you get a character, it's just like dies, and then then another character pops up later into the soap opera show. I mean, my mom also watches soap opera shows. I mean, she loves it. I don't know why, but she really does. I just don't know why. She really does. Just like with Knight Rider, where basically the guy, you know, he plays in Baywatch, David Hasselman, I think that's his name, or Danny Hasselman, I can't remember his name, but it was he plays in there. He drives the car that's a car that can speak and talk to him and transform into like a supercar. It's really awesome. It's really neat. And basically really ideas. And basically, I have not seen the movie, but I think the point, what I'm trying to say here is basically that, like with every single character that goes on into a show, when it comes into an anime or to a movie or something really very important when it comes to a documentary, sometimes things can make sense, but sometimes they can't, and sometimes it can't. But basically, what I'm trying to get here is basically that some people will basically get confused. In my case, yes. In my view, yes, I will definitely get confused. Could it be a good thing? Could it be a bad thing? It really depends. I don't want people to really think that I don't like playing visual novel games, because it's just not really for me. Because I'd rather personally watch anime for myself and just give them my general own opinions and just to see from my point of view, and just to really for people to really understand that I'm talking about different events that may have happened, but it may not be related to the anime, but it does give other different things that might be related to some of those things. So there's not really basically a lot to talk about, but I want to summarize basically of that. Now, one other thing I definitely want to mention that I didn't forget to add on basically in this episode, episode 2, where you see a girl that she's in some kind of tube or something like that. I'm assuming that she's a wife or a daughter or something like that. I don't know. And you see this guy, like he has her basically in this tube of water. But the question is, what is she doing in there for, or something like that? Or maybe that she was sent from the future to warn them, or maybe that could be her twin sister. We just really do not know. Or maybe a very good possibility that she probably could die. That's a very good possibility. I hope that's not the case, because that would be a waste of character, basically, for her with the silver girl with the silver hair. I would hate to see that really happen. I hope and pray that does not happen in the anime, because that would be a real tragedy, and that would be a real waste. And I would drop it just like that. Because I really want to see where the anime is going to progress on, and not see a character just go to waste and just has no point of it, because she can't remember, and then all of a sudden then she remembers. It makes no sense. I just don't seem to understand that. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for this anime review. Tell me what you guys think. You guys agree with me? You guys don't agree with me, or disagree with me, or whatever it is and stuff like that. And tell me what you guys think about the episode. You guys like it or not? I don't know. Check out the anime for you guys. I'd love to hear what you guys' opinions have to say. But yeah, anyways, since I'll see you guys later. Take care. I hope you can stop the word of the day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please leave a comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember, I love you guys. Please safe and remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.